Today marks the day that I will be dating outside of my race. And I know what you're about to say. Aren't you pro-black? Like, what? I am. But as a dark-skinned black woman, the most hate I get is from my own men. And me restricting myself to only dating black men is giving me little to no options. Because there's only like a small group of black men who actually like women like me. And trust me, I've been trying to educate black men about colorism, futurism, texturism my whole damn life. I do it on my platform every day. But a lot of them choose to stay dense and ignorant. And I'm sorry, but you're not about to ask me to wait for these men to stop being colorist. I cannot wait any longer for these men to stop the self-hatred. I want to go where I'm wanted. I'm tired of sitting in places where I'm not wanted.
You being a black content creator, being pro-black, this, that, and the other, and loudly and boldly saying, look, I'm going to where people want me. I'm gonna be with somebody that wants me. I'm gonna love somebody that loves me. I'm gonna build with somebody that wants to build with me. Like, I understand that, and I can understand why people are gonna, like, demonize you or criticize you or whatever. But at the end of the day, if the people that look like you don't want you, where else you gonna go? Let me know.
There's not that many options to choose from.
Right. And I feel like I've had this conversation with a very close friend of mine who married a white man. And I was like, I don't understand how you can have so many like issues or be pro-black but still marry a white man. And it took me a while to understand, like, you know what? You gotta go where the love is. You gotta go where the people who want to be with you are.
Mm-hmm.
And if your people don't want you.
We've been talking about it for years, and a lot of black men don't choose to take accountability. A lot of black men, again, are raised by single moms, and we live in the society where, like, a lot of women are trying to tap into their feminine energy. They're not trying. Yeah, they want to tap into their feminine energy. They don't want to be the provider anymore.
But that's the crazy thing. Go ahead. I'm not
so, like, if you're a black man raised by a single mom, you have an example of a single mom who is going to work, coming home, cooking and cleaning. So you think, like, your partner should be that way. And we know a lot of black moms are softer on their sons, too. So they expect their girlfriends to be the same way. So then when they get a girlfriend, they expect them to be just like their mom, because that's what we normally seek, our parents, right? So we seek a single mom who's going to work, coming home, cooking and cleaning, and also being soft on
providing and doing
exactly.
everything.
Exactly.
Ladies, can we be realistic?
Yeah, because
women who I can make the same argument with women who grow up with their fathers.
Absolutely.
So
you can.
No, there's no absolutely. What we're gonna call it is a standard.
It's a standard.
It's a norm. So what we're not gonna do is try to single it out. If a dude is growing up with the mom who is being able to do it,
they're not to blame for it at all.
There's no one to blame. What I'm saying is the capabilities are not the capabilities are not to be shamed upon.
They're not. It's to be acknowledged, though.
But it's already acknowledged it. But that doesn't mean that you're not. See, look, this is what I caught, and we have this on camera. We went from going from women want to be feminine, right, to men expecting women to.
Let me finish.
Okay, I just want to make sure I'm gonna recap, and then you correct me, and then you can continue.
Okay.
I want to follow along correctly.
Okay.
Shakira.
Okay. My fault.
So we are going from women wanting to be more feminine and bathe in their femininity, right?
Mm-hmm.
To men not understanding, this is what I'm taking, correct me, what femininity is, black men that was raised by single women not understanding what true femininity is because their mom was the ones that was taking on all the burdens of a masculine role and a feminine role. Is that what I'm hearing and understanding? If not, please correct me.
Yeah, that's what you're hearing.
Okay. So now what I'm saying is.
Okay, go ahead.
So now.
I mean, a lot of black men can obviously branch out and learn how to be tapping into their masculine energy. Yeah. But a lot.
Are you saying a lot of men that are raised by single mothers are feminine?
I'm not saying they're. I'm not saying they're
confused about what she's saying.
I'm saying a lot of black men who are raised by single moms seek a woman who's going to mimic their mother.
And what's wrong with that?
What's wrong with that is when they do get with a strong black woman, a lot of the time they can't handle it. They feel intimidated by it.
How if they was raised by it? I think that
But
You
no.
can't have both sides of the coin. You can't be like, oh, I want a woman who's feminine, blah blah
Exactly.
blah, and still want a woman like your mom. Because
Exactly.
your woman like your mom
Is
she didn't have the
masculine.
opportunity to tap into that femininity.
but
Exactly.
but that's not even being. We're having two separate conversations
we
right
really
now.
We're
are.
not.
No, we're not.
No,
We're on the
no,
same
y-
page.
No, you're actually not. What is actually happening is this, or maybe there's a lack of comprehension of what's going on.
A lot of black men, again, are raised by single mothers, right?
Mhm.
So they have an example of a woman who's a protector and provider in the house. So when they seek a woman, they're seeking a woman to mimic their mom, a woman who is a protector and provider in the house and also lets a lot of stuff
Contributor.
slide. Yeah. So when they get next to a strong black woman, because the average black woman is a strong black woman. That's the average black woman, like I said, like because we deal with the most criticisms, we have to deal with the most in life, right? So when the average black man gets next to a strong black woman, a lot of the time they feel the need to humble her. They feel like they are intimidated by her and they have to break her down because a lot of men want to feel dominance in a relationship. So when they get next to a strong black woman, it's not what they think it is. They seek that because that's what their mom was. But then when they get it, they don't like it anymore, right? Because she has strong opinions. She's independent. That's why we see a lot of black men say that, oh, black women are too masculine. I can't have my woman make more money than me, right? Because they see that as too much, too tough, too independent, too masculine, right? But that's because like we live in a society where we have a power structure based on race. We can't run away from that. Black men are at the lowest when it comes to power structure because they're systematically oppressed and racially targeted, right? So then when we look at white men, for example, they are at the top of the food chain. That's something you can't run away from. And they're comfortable in their position in society. So when they're next to a strong black woman, they don't feel the need to humble her or make her feel, like small or break her down because they're already comfortable in their position in society. So then when they get next to a strong black woman, they feel like that's their equal, like an alpha being with an alpha. Rather than a black man, they feel like they're competing for their power.
Black women in America have not had a chance to not have that strong role. You understand? And I wish I could recall the name of this study, but it was done by, I think, by the FBI about how to make sure our people stay divided, right?
Yeah.
So when slavery started, and it's a study that black men reference all the time, and it's actually not even in their favor. But we can talk about that later.
It never was. We know that already.
No, I'm saying the study wasn't in their favor, but they reference it all the time as if it is in their favor, but it's not. But anyway, the study said that the black woman has been like the head of the household since slavery. When the man was removed, the woman has held it down forever. So if you got generation after generation after generation of a woman being strong, having to provide for her family, having to provide for her kids, having to go out and work and do this, that, and the other, and do whatever it took in her to make shit happen, when has she ever had an opportunity to not be strong?
And now let's actually understand what was done, which actually we've already had this conversation once before. The black man was actually meant to be oppressed in front of the black woman while they were in slavery times. Now we've had hundreds of years. Listen to me. We have hundreds of years of knowledge of this or awareness of this, especially in the last 50 years, more awareness of our actual upbringing as black men and black women in America than ever before. But yet there has been a lack of change. There's been a lack of understanding and a lack of consideration for a black woman to say, we've always had to be strong. And a black man to be like, well, that's because they stripped me away from you against my rights and embarrassed me in front of you for generations and I couldn't protect you. I didn't have no means to protect you. You don't have to be strong in 2022 no more.
But at
This
what
is not
point?
This is not the 13, 14, 15, 1600s where they're embarrassing me in front of all of my black people.
They still are.
But it's not black men's fault. However, we live in a society where we have Google, we have the research for you to know what your history is and why it came about, but we choose to engage in it. You know what I'm saying?
And
we
choose
want to leave our
rattle
woman
off a bunch of
exactly.
bullshit that we
You know,
so I just want to know what your experience has been. Like, do you think you're appreciated more, or do you wish that the attention that you get from these men is something you could get from our men? Like, just overall, I just want to know, like, what your like take on all of this is.
So what I've learned is honestly there's a equal chance of me finding a white man who won't date me because I'm a black woman as there is a
Yep.
black man who won't date me because I'm dark skinned.
That's actually the response I was looking for.
There is a equal, and people like to be in denial about it, but there is a equal chance. It's literally an equal chance. So it's like when I date white men or I date black men, and honestly, like it doesn't matter because either way, I get fetishized by black men too because I benefit from featureism, and then I can get fetishized by white men because I'm a black woman who's like I guess unique in a way. So either way, it's kind of an equal chance. So that's my experience, and I've never got asked what do you bring to the table.
Well, what do you bring to the table? You know what I'm saying.
What do I bring to the table?
That's what I'm saying. Like,
I
if you
mean,
never
you-
got asked, you might as well get asked where it started.
I mean, I want the traditional relationship. So you buy the house, I make it a home. You buy the food, I cook the food.
Shakira,
You pay for
I
the
really,
kids' school. Like
I genuinely am am your friend.
you're my friend. Okay.
So I'm not
continue.
gonna. We're gonna just change the question.
Change the question.
So, have you experienced an influx of men outside of your race reaching out to you since your video went viral?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you find any attractive that you really decided that maybe, hey, I might just speak to for a little bit?
I have. And I have it. I
What's the ethnicity?
Got some dates lined up?
have some days lined up. I
What's
do.
give me some ethnicities.
I have Dominican lined up.
Papi.
I have
Hello, que wa wa wa.
I have white men lined up.
Who?
White men.
Oh, white. Okay.
Why you say it like that?
No, I didn't know. I honestly didn't know. What you
I've had majority. I've had black men hit me up.
said. And apologize
honest.
for all the other black men.
They've just told me that I'm lying and I'm a beautiful woman and black men like me. That's their response.
I mean, you know what's crazy? I'm Aaron. Please stop me because sometimes I do get off on tangents. Yeah. What I like when I think of a strong black woman, I think of a strong woman
Okay.
just in general,
In general.
right? A strong woman is somebody who's gonna thug it out to me, like when things get rough between us. A strong woman is gonna make sure that we're good whenever, if I can't do something, she finds a way to help me do it, or maybe she might do it. Whatever the case may be, it's just a reciprocity of a partner,
Okay.
right? I look at you potentially, granted I don't know you, as a strong woman, right? So if a man was to say, "Are you a strong woman?" Do you tie strong with being masculine?
No.
Okay.
Because I am a strong woman, but I am not masculine. And I think that with the right man, I tap into my feminine side. But I've come across a lot of men who try to force submission onto me too.
What does forced submission look like?
That's a good thing. Yeah.
Forced submission, I guess, like I said earlier, try to humble me, try to make me feel like the smaller one in the relationship so they have dominance so I could feel like I have to submit to them. And then I have to, make myself,
Small.
like small, like, hold off on my opinions, hold off on my independence, hold off on even the money that I make. So I make them feel like they're the bigger one in the relationships.
It's not a strong man.
That's not a strong man at all.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
just saying, I've nothing to say. I think those are weirdos in my book.
So
But
you
the
don't
thing is that a
force
lot of no, go ahead.
You don't force submission on women at all. You let it flow naturally.
For this is what I do. I make everything, and granted, it's not always the best because as you grow, you're gonna realize certain things change, right?
Yeah.
But I put everything out on the table of how I am, how I operate, what I
Okay.
believe I need at this moment in my life, and I allow people to accept. It's yes or no. So if you accept it, I don't need to force anything. If I said, "Hey, I need you to cook dinner every Wednesdays at 5:00," for whatever reason, and you say, yeah, okay, cool, I'm willing to do that, and then we pursue a relationship, I'm expecting what you've agreed upon. So I don't have to force it, you know? But I think a lot of dudes, they, especially right now, they don't always know what they want in a woman either. So when they don't know what they want in a woman, they're too busy forcing submission because they're trying to figure out what it is that they need. Because if they knew what they needed, they would have already presented that from the very beginning.
That's a good point.
You know
I
what I'm
like
saying?
that.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't feel like I need to force submission. You know, sometimes I got to slow my girl up because she be speeding, and sometimes when she speeds, she crashes. But I'm saving her. I ain't forcing
Yeah,
submission.
you say. Yeah.
I'm like, yo, chill out. You're thinking too fast. You're moving too fast. Just slow down, rethink, re-strategize, and regroup.
So I feel like even though I really didn't mean anything by that post besides expressing myself, I opened the door for a lot of women to be open about their true feelings and how they've been feeling for a while. So a lot of black women have reached out to me and said, like, that's my experience too. Like, I literally relate to you, and like I've been scared to say it because I'm scared of the feedback I'm gonna get and the backlash I'm gonna get. But because you said it, I feel like, you know, you'll take the heat, but I'm gonna do it now because you're the first person. I'm not the first person to do it
But
or
you-
even
yeah,
say
you
it,
open
but
that door for them.
I opened that door. So
I mean, it's really about you being confident enough to be loud and proud about
glad
it.
I'm proud about it. Yeah.
And to, because again, everyone says black women don't take accountability. I think by saying that like boldly, you're being accountable for what you believe, what the
What I be-
consequences
yeah.
are, you know, whatever may befall you, you know. And I think a lot of times that is used against us as far as like accountability.
Yeah.
So like, you know, whether I agree with you or not, like I appreciate you being
Yeah.
open and honest about it,
Mhm.
you know.
But would you, right? So now let's go off, right? One step further. Would you still be that same person that you were prior to the post about if a black man decided to go outside his race, would you still be that same person to have any type of negative feelings upon that?
It depends on the reason he's going outside of his race. Because if he's going outside of his
Same
race because he
earlier.
loves a white woman and he loves her for who she is, I can respect that. But if you're going outside of your race because you hate black women and you hate black women based on stereotypes, based on the white supremacist mindset, I can't respect that. If you're saying I'm going outside of my race because black women are aggressive and, you know, they're annoying and they're masculine and they're too much, I can't respect that because
What if that's his experiences, though? I'm not saying every black woman is like that, but there are
But
all women that
why?
are like that.
But we have to dig into why is that his experience? Why does he perceive it as his experience, though?
But no, we don't. We have to dig in that perception is actually real for that person. Just like that perception is real for you. There are black women, dark-skinned women who have never felt the way that you felt. But
That's
that does
true.
not mean that we discredit that woman or discredit you. 'Cause I've learned to accept people for how they are. And I've learned to understand that there are ways that everybody is, that some are may not, and some of them are all similar in the same ways. But that doesn't mean that my experience on my life trump your experience on your life with the people that you've encountered. So if you decide to date, you know, white men, Spanish men, orange men, blue men, yellow men, I don't care what color men, then that is what is best for you. Whatever your reason is. There's a lot of women who say, yo, I'm tired of dealing with the nice guys because they don't know how to have sex with me the proper way, so they go to the street dudes, right? But like
Simon.
yes, they tired of Simon, so they go to Jamal's. You know what I'm saying? And then there's a lot of women that say, I'm tired of street dudes because of whatever, and I want to go to Simon's. All I'm saying is that whatever your preference is should be your preference, and I don't think
Yeah.
anybody should be shamed upon your reasoning
That
for your
is true.
preference.